Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DBN Live, we back at it, y'all. It's going down like a plane crash, man. We about to get Golovkins trainer Abel Sanchez on the horn. I just talked to him. I told him I'm about to call him in a couple minutes. He's ready, so hopefully he answers the phone. Of course, we're going to ask him what he thinks about Jermell Charlo challenging his boy Golovkin. We're going to talk about his recent win that he just got. Marat Gassiev over Dorticos, and now he's about to fight Alexander Usyk. So we're going to talk about all of that, guys. Let me go ahead and say shout out. Let me go ahead and give shouts out to everybody in the comment section so far. I got my mediator. I got my moderator. I got my moderator, J-Dog, in the building. What's going on, man? Holding it down. Filter in the comment section. Putting pressure on these decafs to call in. I appreciate that. Yes, sir, man. My man Ben Dover Trolls. What's going on, man? Shout out to the decafs and the trolls out there. What's going on, Antonio? Always giving love to the first cats that fill up the comment section, man. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and call up Abel Sanchez and see what he thinks. Before we go ahead and start, go ahead and rep your city, rep your state, rep your country. Let's get it in, y'all. Let's get it in, y'all. This should be pretty interesting. Should be a pretty interesting interview. Yes, sir. What's good, y'all? All right, you know what, man? I'm going to go ahead and fast forward and call up Abel right now. Like I said, you know, it's already been arranged and prepared, so hopefully he answers the phone, as always. What's going on, y'all, in the comment section? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I see y'all, man. I see y'all in the comment section. What's going on, Rudy Ramos, San Jose? Black Horseman Promotions. What's going on, man? Yes, sir. King Terrell, I appreciate that. He said you holding it down. The comments are moving fast now. So, Orlando, Florida. Yes, sir. Bay Area here. Bay Area, Oakland in here and heavy. Y'all in here heavy. Yes, sir. Brick City. All right, y'all. I'm about to switch the camera. Go ahead and switch the camera and show you some of this fresh, fly Dante's Boxing Nation gear. Once again, the website is dropping real soon. It's dbnstore.com. But right now, you guys can go to Dante's Boxing Nation at gmail.com, you know, and go ahead and just put down the color, size, the hats you want, and I'll have somebody shoot you guys an invoice. Let's go ahead with no further ado. Let's go ahead and try to get my man Abel on the horn. Let me see if I can get him on the horn right now. Once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. That's what it is, man. Let's go ahead and call him up right now. Yes, sir. For everybody just tuning in, we're going to try to call up Abel right now. Talk about Jermell Charlo. Talk about Marat Gassiev and all his other fighters. Let's go ahead and get it in, guys.
Hello.
Abel Sanchez, what's going on, brother?
How are you, my friend?
All right, man. Congratulations. Huge win with Marat Gassiev. I remember seeing him like 3 years ago in his infancy stage, and now he's doing it big. Now he's the champion at cruiserweight. So how do you rate your fighter's performance, man?
You know, he followed. We had a great training camp, first of all. And he followed instructions to a T. What I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of emulate the fight of Golovkin-Lemieux. Of Golovkin-Lemieux. And kind of let Dorticos burn himself out a little bit, which exactly what he did. In about the 6th round, I felt that his punches were getting a little lethargic and a little slow, a little heavy. So that's when I asked him not to step it up. But it was a matter of just keeping you cool and following directions. And he did.
Now, the next fight, some people would say it's tougher. I don't know. You tell me, you know, against Alexander Usyk or Usyk. If you would compare Dorticos to Alexander, who would you say is probably going to be tougher? Just breaking down the flaws and the advantages, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's a different kind of fight for Murat. It's a different kind of fight for Murat because it's two different kind of opponents, two different kind of. But I think they're both just as tough. I don't think one is tougher than the other because they both got their pluses, very few minuses. But Usyk will require us to not to allow him to get too far ahead because he's an exceptional boxer, very elusive, and he's got that gold medal in his pocket. He's got that experience and national experience. It's going to keep us from doing a lot of things that we want to do.
If everybody just tuning in, you guys are listening to Murat Gassiev's trainer and Golovkins' trainer, Abel Sanchez, is on the horn live with us right now. Now, he also said he wants to go to heavyweight after the Usyk fight. What do you think about him saying that?
That was my plan. That was my idea from the beginning when I first took him on. When I first took him on, he was 19 years old. And he was a frail 195 pounds, 194 pounds, and was about 6'2" at the time. He's grown about 1.5 inches now, and now it's about 220 when he's not in the gym. So I'm dropping him down to 200, obviously, to make the cruiserweight limit. I thought that he could make a heavyweight. I'm more convinced now that he can make a heavyweight. It's just a matter of taking care of Usyk first and then seeing what's out there in 2018 before I jump to heavyweight, see what's out there as far as other cruiserweight fights. They may be good money fights, I guess a good way of putting it.
How tall is he? What is he, like 6'2"? What is he?
6'3", almost 6'3" and a half in his feet, in bare feet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a whole different, animal when it comes to the heavyweight division, right? I mean, that's just a whole different war right there, right? I mean,
actually, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than the cruiserweight.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you where it's a lot easier. Evander Holyfield used his speed, his movement, he didn't have great big punching power, but he was a good puncher. But I think that the little guy against the big guy, if you're smart, tends to give the big guys a difficult time. And Evander was the last unified champion that moved up to heavyweight. He's the last unified champion, period. But then he moved up to heavyweight after he won unified the division and had success. So I think if there's nothing up there at cruiserweight, he obviously can't go down to light heavyweight. So the next step would be to go up and try those waters up there.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like you said, first got to get past Alexander, and that,
absolutely,
that's going to be
an easy task.
Yeah, that's a tough fight right there. Okay, so Abel, so let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday, Jermell Charlo, he had his media workout. Of course, he had a lot to say about your fighter, Golovkin. He said, and I quote, I want those 3 little G's next. So if you guys get past Canelo, since he brought this up yesterday, if you guys get past Canelo, he's your mandatory. Does Golovkin fight Charlo or retire before he fights Charlo? Go ahead and tell me.
First of all, that's very disrespectful from a guy that hasn't accomplished anything at middleweight yet. That's very disrespectful. And because of that, I would say that I would tell him to wait as long as I want him to wait. I would tell the managers that, just because, in order to challenge somebody, first of all, you have to accomplish something. He hasn't done it yet. He's got Centeno, which he should beat. Charlo's a very good fighter, but it's not up to Charlo. It's up to Golovkin. And when Golovkin gets good and ready, then either he'll give him a shot or he'll let him wait.
When you say he'll let him wait, you say it's up to Golovkin, but isn't it also kind of up to the WBC as well, too, Abel? Because he's the mandatory now, right? So
not if there's a unification. Okay.
Well, yeah, but that's you guys about to. Okay, so you saying you have the Canelo fight still, and you're saying you guys are going to go after Billy Joe Saunders before. I
didn't say that. I said it's not up to the WBC and it's not up to Charlo. That's what I said.
Okay, it's not up to the WBC. It's up to Golovkin, is what you're saying, right?
That's what I said. It's up to Golovkin, because if he decides to unify, then the mandatory is moot.
So if Jermell goes in there and he knocks out Centeno, does it in a better fashion than Selesky did, You know, you telling me you guys wouldn't be interested in taking that fight while he is the mandatory and he knocks him out in impressive fashion and everyone is raving about his performance?
He's gonna knock him out. He's definitely gonna knock him out, in my opinion. I think he's a much better fighter than Centeno is. But
better than Solinsky then, right? So you saying he's better than Majes Solinsky as well then?
You know what? Until they fight, who knows? Solinsky's still undefeated. You know, I think that to get ahead of the game, to say this is the fight that's next and that's the fight that's next, we have Canelo in front of us, and Golovkin will decide what he does after that. If it's Charlo, it's Charlo. If he decides not to fight Charlo and unify, then that's up to Golovkin. I think that we have Canelo in front of us, and Charlo has got Centeno in front of him. So we'll see what happens in those two. And
I'm about to ask you about the Canelo fight, Abel, but I just want to go back because you just said if we don't fight him. You mean if you don't fight him next, or you mean if you guys don't fight him at all? I mean, are you saying it's a possibility that Golovkin may not fight him at all before he?
Who knows? Who knows? Martinez never fought Golovkin.
Yeah.
No, Cotto never fought Golovkin. He was champion. You know, who knows? To assume or presume that Charlo's got a right to fight for a middleweight title that Golovkin has, I think is first of all premature for it to be talked when we have Canelo in front of us, and Charlo's got a lot of ground to cover still.
Now the question, of course, Abel, people are going to ask is, how did Dominic Wade deserve a shot at Golovkin, but Charlo doesn't, and Charlo is obviously way better than Dominic Wade.
I could care less what people ask. I'm telling you what it is.
But you would say Charlo's better than Wade, though, right? Regardless of what you care about, you would say he's better than Wade, though, right?
I would say that Charlo's obviously better than Wade. Yes.
Okay. And you, well, like I said,
I could care less what people say. It's whatever's best for Golovkin that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's what's best for him, and I mean, do you feel that he probably would be the most dangerous, like outside of Danny Jacobs?
I ain't even going to talk about Charlo. He's not worth talking about him. To me,
he's not worth talking about
because he hasn't earned it.
What does he have to do to earn it?
Wait. What does he have to do to earn it? Win some fights. Win some fights against the top middleweight. Look, Jacobs called him out, and what happened to that?
But he's a mandatory for your fighter though right now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of mandatories everywhere. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is he hasn't earned it. It's not worth talking about Charlo. Charlo's nothing to me, and nothing to Golovkin's career.
Okay, you guys heard it. He said he's nothing to you right now. Okay, well let's go ahead. Because like I said, we got to get past you got to get past Canelo.
Especially a disrespectful guy like that. Nobody's ever said nothing bad about him.
You saying because
Golovkin's never said anything bad about him.
You saying
if he wants to talk about me, then let him talk about me. But Golovkin's never said anything disrespectful about him.
But Abel, I mean, this is the fight game, though. I mean, why does he have to be respectful? He's trying to get a fight with him, though. I mean,
well, then that's the way you go about it. Then you're never going to get one. That's the whole point. What I'm saying. This is a gentleman's game. This is a sportsman game. This is not a back alley fight, back alley kind of business. Okay. If that's the way he wants to do it, well, then he can go on and just continue doing what he's doing.
And you saying he keeps talking like that? You saying he may not get a shot at all at Golovkin?
Yeah. And I'm sure Golovkin will feel the same way.
Has Golovkin said anything about Jermell Charlo to you?
Never. No. Probably doesn't even know when he's fighting. I mean, he knows who he is, obviously, but probably doesn't even know who he's fighting. Golovkin really very seldom talks about any other fighter except the fight he's got coming up. He really doesn't care.
Yeah, because we seen him at Canelo fight. So you saying he's not going to be watching Charlo versus Centeno?
I can say 100% sure that he will not be watching that fight.
But shouldn't you guys prepare just in case the WBC kind of forces it? Or unless you guys said you guys may give up the belt or what? If they give you the option.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care who is fighting or who he's going to fight until he's going to fight him. He doesn't care. Seriously, I'm telling you. He doesn't watch any videos.
Oh, okay. I mean, but like I said, if you guys are forced to either fight him or give up the belt, what happens, Abel?
When that time comes, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. Let me ask you about Canelo. what's going to be different?
Not one you can ask me about, and not one I can tell you about.
Okay, Cinco de Mayo, the rematch is going down. First of all, let me ask you about the buzz when it comes to this fight. You feel the buzz is the same as the first fight?
I think it's more. I think people were pissed off at what happened in the first one, not because Golovkin won or lost or Canelo had a draw or we had a draw. I think they're pissed off at the Mexicans anyway, at Canelo's tactics for one, and then they're pissed off about the judging. They didn't get a one way or the other. If they cared one way or the other, just to have a winner. A draw is like, what's that old saying, kissing your sister?
I hear you. I hear you. Now, a lot of people say that Golovkin, he didn't go to the body like he usually does. Like he showed a little too much respect for Canelo. Why is that he didn't go to the body as much? And are you guys going to change that in the rematch?
You know what? Everybody that you say, everybody says, who cares? Those people have never been in the ring with Canelo.
No, but I've
never been in the ring with Golovkin.
But I'm
who cares?
No, but I'm asking you as a trainer, why did he not go to the body as much? Why didn't?
Well, one of the reasons I can say is that if I'm Golovkin, we haven't discussed yet because we haven't really got together for a training camp yet. I try not to be in their lives once they leave me after the fight because they have a life of their own. But one of the things that happened in the fight is in about the fourth or fifth round, Golovkin threw a body shot and Canelo turned his back like he was slipping it or as you could say, a pivoting, and the punch happened to land on the back. And the first thing that Kenny Bayless did was warn him for hitting him in the back. So, you know, it's that kind of fight. Canelo, just like against Floyd Mayweather, gets draws against Floyd Mayweather. You got to be kidding me. You got to draw against us. So I'm sure that. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I'm thinking that maybe the thought was if I hit him again in the back, they're going to take a point away from me.
You believe that has something to do with him being reluctant to go to the body?
I mean, like I said, I haven't spoken with him. I haven't sat down with him and spoken with him, but that could be. I mean, I would think that the thought has to be that Canelo gets gifts in Vegas, and maybe that's why. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
So what's the game plan to make sure it's not another, kissing your sister situation draw?
Having some fair judges. Fair judges.
So you believe it'll still be kind of as competitive then, though, right? Because
of course, of course it's going to be competitive. This is round 13. I mean, every rematch, I think at the top level that maybe a couple haven't been, but usually the rematches in the 13th round are competitive. How it goes after the 13th and 14th and 15th round, I don't know. But if Canelo fights like he says he's going to fight, like he's talking about knocking Golovkin out, we may have one of those classic fights that we were expecting the first time, with two guys in trying to knock each other out instead of running.
Oh, okay. I mean, is this going to close the chapter though, or because I remember when we talked the first time before the first fight, you was real heavy on saying that it could easily be 3 fights. I mean, do you still feel that way?
Absolutely. If they go toe to toe, if Canelo does what he keeps saying he's going to do, and like you said in the first fight, and they go toe to toe, and it's a close 1-2 point, another draw, and it's a kind of fight that resembles the scoring, then why not? Why not? I mean, if they choose to do it again, and it's that kind of fight, just like with Pacquiao and Barrera and Morales and all those guys back then, Nassim Hamed with Junior Jones and some of those guys that had Vasquez and Marquez. If they choose to do it that way, and it's a kind of fight that the fans will buy, and the fans think that it deserves a third one, then why not? Mm-hmm. I said this 2 years ago.
Yeah. Now, Abel, something else you said I remember. Well, I remember when I told you a long time ago that there was a report that Golovkin was saying around the time that Ward knocked out Kovalev, he might retire, real soon. You said, no, that's not true, and he has at least another 5 years in him. Do you still feel that way, or what? When it comes to how long Golovkin may stick around?
I think he's going to stick around, but it all depends. Just like with Andre, okay? Just like with Andre. Andre retired because there was no more mountains for him to climb. In his mind. Not in your mind, not in my mind. In Andre's mind, there was no more mountains for him to climb. There was no more challenges for him. And when you get to that point, when there's no more challenges, I don't care if you're physically okay. You can't get out for training camps. Those training camps are miserable. Those training camps are probably the most difficult part of their careers. They're very hard, especially when you've been doing it as long as these guys have for 20, 25 years. Training camps are an impossibility. They don't like going to training camp. None of them do. Maybe at the beginning when they start becoming champions, they do a little bit, but the training camps get tedious. We do the same things just like every fighter, every champion does basically the same things over and over and over again. That gets tedious. So if those challenges are there mentally for him, then yes, I think he continues. But we got to get this Canelo fight out of the way and then see what happens after that. But there's got to be those challenges for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. So there are no major changes, though, when it comes to the game plan to fighting Canelo then, right?
No. We won the first one. Obviously, there's going to be some adjustments. We're going to see, we're going to work on several different things, obviously, because we have to, because we saw some good things and some bad things in the fight from Golovkin and good things and bad things in the fight from Canelo. But if the same fight is fought again, he'll win 8-4 again. But obviously Canelo is going to make some changes, and we're going to make some changes to try to make it a better fight for the fans.
Okay. And since Canelo is in the same division and you guys, have a common opponent, you guys is in your division, Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo just recently said, or his people just recently said, we don't like that fight because we don't like Billy Joe Saunders' style. It reminds us of Lara. What you think about Canelo's people saying that they're not interested in the BJ Saunders fight after his last performance?
Well, that's something that Canelo's got to do what's best for his career. And BJ Saunders, the money is not there for Canelo to fight that kind of fight. But if they choose not to fight him, that's the choice. I think that they deserve to fight whomever they want to fight and for how much ever they want to fight him for. Now, on the other hand, Saunders, I did an interview about 2 months ago when Saunders beat Lemieux, and somebody was saying the same thing you're saying. And my comment back was, I hope he doesn't price himself out because he'll never get the elite fights. And it wasn't a week later that I'm reading that he won $6-7 million to fight Daniel Jacobs. You can, there's only so much that a fighter at the level of Canelo and Golovkin and Andre and those guys can afford to give the opponents who haven't earned the right to earn that kind of money. So when Saunders is saying those things, it's impossible to make a fight because the money's not there. The money's not there for the champion to give up.
Yeah, but Canelo did fight Smith. What's his name again? From the UK, Smith. His first name, I'm forgetting his first name. But
yes, I know who you're talking about, Liam.
Yeah, Liam Smith. He fought Liam Smith. Okay. I mean, and it was BJ
Saunders.
How much did he pay him?
Huh? But how much did he pay him? How much did he pay him?
Yeah, but they're not using the money excuse though, Abel. They're saying they don't like his style.
No. Trust me, it's a money excuse. When Saunders comes back and says he wants $6-7 million to fight Jacobs, that money's not there for that fight to be made. That's like saying I don't want the fight.
So you don't believe them when they say they don't like his style because you don't believe that. No,
I don't believe that. I believe that that's just instead of sounding so. I don't want to use the word greedy, but instead of sounding like it's all about money, they say style. But Saunders is pricing himself out. If he really wanted to fight, I'm telling you, if he came with a reasonable offer to Canelo and Golden Boy, they would take it. He's nothing to Canelo.
Yeah. Somebody in the comment section, they telling me to ask you, and I think I asked you this a long time ago anyway, but they said ask him, is it about money or legacy? Or legacy too?
For who?
I guess he's saying in general, when it comes to, I guess, Golovkin's legacy, Canelo's legacy. What's more important?
Pay what? Does your legacy pay the bills?
Well, I mean, legacy does get you pretty far. I mean, No,
legacy don't get legacy. The bank don't care about your legacy. The bank only cares about your payment. So if you're talking about some at that level, you're talking about some real money, and legacy don't mean nothing when it comes to that kind of money.
So you saying you would rather your fighter just be rich as opposed to being considered one of the greatest fighters of all time?
Absolutely.
Wow.
What's Fred Benitez doing right now? He's a great fighter. What's he doing right now with no money?
But then you got Floyd Mayweather on the other hand, who retired as the richest as the richest boxer,
okay,
ever.
Now, if both things can happen at the same time, fantastic. And you know what? Floyd's one of the smartest guys to ever put on a pair of gloves, business-wise. Okay, but he did it with both. If it can happen that way, great. If it doesn't, well, that's okay too.
Now, Abel, you also told me that if anybody deserves a shot at Golovkin, Danny Jacobs deserves a shot before anyone else does.
Yeah, first, absolutely, first before anybody else.
So does he get a rematch before Golovkin retires?
I have no clue. I have Canelo in front of me. I have no clue.
Even, I mean, because you said Golovkin may fight, for a couple of years. So I'm assuming he's going to have at least about another 5 opponents before he retires.
I would say yes. But right now, Canelo's the one in front of us, and Danny, I believe, is fighting somebody soon. I wish him luck and I wish him the best.
He's fighting. He might fight Zaleski. He might fight Majest Zaleski.
Okay, I hope he comes out with a great win, because that's a gentleman right there. That's a guy that Golovkin could go in the ring again with.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Now, I got to ask you something way off the subject, Abel, since it was big news reported, at least according to Freddie Roach. Manny Pacquiao is going to fight against Lomachenko. He should fight first in April, maybe on Terrence Crawford's undercard, and then the plan is for him to fight Lomachenko in November. Your reaction and your thoughts?
It depends on what weight. It's at 140.
It's supposed to be 140. It's supposed to be 140.
140? You know what? That is the kind of fight that is needed for Lomachenko, and the kind of fight that Manny Pacquiao needs to find out what he's got, if he's got anything left. Let me say the smart money, I guess, would say the younger guy will be too much. But at 140, you remember, this is a featherweight, 126 pounders is fighting a guy that's established at 147 and fought big guys and took shots from big guys. And the only blemish is the shot that he got caught with Marquez. But Marquez also was established at a higher weight. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to say I'd have to give a slight edge to Lomachenko, but I wouldn't put Manny to the side. I think that Manny's got a great chance. Lomachenko's going to have to deal with some size and some speed that he hasn't faced yet.
And the fight kind of reminds me of Manny Pacquiao when he fought against Oscar De La Hoya. That's a fight it kind of reminds me of. I remember at that time nobody gave Manny Pacquiao a shot, though.
Yeah, the opposite. You mean like Manny is Lomachenko and Pacquiao is Oscar?
Yeah, is
that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, the bigger,
you're right.
The bigger guy is the older guy. The bigger guy is the older guy towards the end of his career. Yeah. And then you have the younger, smaller guy. But the only difference is I think Lomachenko in this situation will be the favorite. And Manny Pacquiao was a heavy underdog when he fought against De La Hoya. But they were mainly looking at the size, though. Yeah,
but you know what? It's metamorphosis and everything. When Ray Leonard, at the end of his career, fought Terry Norris, one of my guys, it's the younger guy. It happens to all these gentlemen that are older, that were great fighters. They end up fighting one fight too many. And fighting it against a young stud like Lomachenko is taking a big risk, taking a big chance. But that's what makes him great, man.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, anybody else in the stable? You getting ready for? You still with Denis Shafikov too, right?
Yeah, this the 24th of this month at the Forum. We have Carlos Cuadras fighting McWilliams Arroyo. McWilliams Arroyo is the young man that went 12 rounds with Chocolatito last year. Yeah. So it is my first fight with Cuadras, training Cuadras. So we have a fight against a real tough opponent on that 24th. On the 10th, I have Alex Saucedo fighting at the StubHub. I don't know who the main event is on that card, but it's the 10th of March. Then on the 24th of March, I have Michel Soro fighting for the interim 154-pound title WBA in France, along with Arsene Goulomerian, who fights for the vacant cruiserweight title WBA also in Marseille on the 24th. Then we come back on the 27th. We have Ryan Martin fighting in L.A. somewhere in one of Tom Loeffler's inaugural show for 360 Promotions. He fights the main event. I don't know who his opponent is. And I also have a young man, Sergey Bohachuk, who fights a 6-rounder on that card. Also, Rujay Madiev will fight. He's another junior welterweight that I have that's 10-0. He fights on that card also.
Wow, you're gonna be busy. Hey, Abel, do you feel that once you basically got Abel when you got Gennady Golovkin, that kind of opened up the gates and you became like the Eastern European connect, you know, the former Soviet Union type connect when it comes to the Russians, the Kazakh fighters, and et cetera, et cetera? You think they're looking at you now because of
not because of just Golovkin? I think it's success. We keep winning. I had Kovalev too, who I had for 9 fights and 9 KOs. And I think it's just success. They look at you like you're the next calling. And there's a lot of great coaches out there. There's a lot of great coaches that are not getting a chance because I'm winning right now some fights. So people think that I'm the one. But you know what? There's a lot of great coaches out there not getting a chance. And I wish that some of these managers would take a chance on these young coaches that are doing a great job with some smaller fighters, smaller venue fighters, but they're great coaches. And that's how we develop our ranks. That's how we develop teachers, as Emmanuel Stewart just used to say. Let these guys have a chance. Let these guys have a chance with some of these talented European fighters, and maybe we'll see more great teachers before the end of 2025, 2030, because it takes time to develop as a teacher also.
Okay, and my last question, Abel, you also had the super flyweight champion Dwayne Beeman out there, was working with your fighters out there. He worked with Carlos Quadras, or Quadras. What did you think about Dwayne Beeman? And then
great talent. Great talent. He's only got 12 or 13 or 14 fights. Very talented young man, very strong young man. I think his inactivity has kept him out of the gym because he came up here and wasn't able to go too many rounds. I think he only went 4 or 5, also because of the altitude. But talented, he's extremely talented. I don't doubt he's going to be champion very soon because he's got that kind of talent.
Okay, you guys heard it from trainer Abel Sanchez. Hey, well, once again, man, thank you, Abel. Anything else you want to say to the fans? Anything else on your mind before I let you go, family?
No, man, thank you very much for having me on. Thank you very much for allowing me my opinion. Everybody has one. And I just hope that we keep giving you the kind of fights, giving you and the fans the kind of fights that they enjoy. Whether they like the fighter or they don't like the fighter, the fact of the matter is that if we give you great fights, this boxing business is going to stay busy and stay afloat, and not let the naysayers say that boxing is dead, because it's not.
There it goes. Good stuff, Abel. Thanks, man. I'll catch up with you later, okay, man?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Have a great day. All right, man. Take care, man. All right. You guys heard it from trainer Abel Sanchez, but everyone just tuning in right now, boy, we had a hell of an interview. We started it off talking about Murat Gassiev, and then we start talking about that boy. We start talking about that lion, Jermell Charlo. And unfortunately, guys, it sounds like, for everybody to listen, I'm sure you guys can agree with me, but it actually sounds like, unfortunately, we are not going to ever see Golovkin versus Charlo. You guys go back and watch and listen to what Abel had to say about Jermell Charlo. But yeah, it looks like we're not going to get to see that fight. He said that they're going to make him wait. He said that Jermell was disrespectful for calling Golovkin 3 little G's. I mean, Canelo Alvarez, I mean, let's just be honest. Canelo, he said a lot of disrespectful things about Gennady Golovkin. I mean, a lot of fighters did. But like I told Abel Sanchez, this is the hurt business. And when someone is trying to fight you, they're most likely not going to be respectful and, have all type of manners. And it's not usually like that when you're calling out someone, when you're hungry, especially when you're a damn lion. So, yeah, man, unfortunately, we may not get that fight, man. Yeah, man. I'm reading the comments right now. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. As always, shout out to ashkicking.com. Go to that dope-ass website, man. Shout out to ashkicking.com. Shout out to Box Runners, boxrunnershoes.com. I got the shoes right here. I get some good cardio in these. These are boxing shoes, guys. These are boxing shoes, and these are the first shoes designed to actually train inside the ring and outside of the ring. Okay? So show some love to boxrunnershoes.com. Gotta show love to my sponsors, man. Let me see what else you guys talking about over here. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my man Angel Santos. Yeah, and you know, Angel, I still gotta upload that. I gotta upload the clip that you did. My man Angel Santos, one of my moderators, because he was holding it down with me when I had Marvin Columbus, the owner of the Box Runner Shoes. I had him in the show. I had him on the show. Matter of fact, his son is one of the stars on Ray Donovan. You know, he's one of the stars on Ray Donovan, and I had both of them on the show. And at the time, you know, because Angel Santos was showing the love, my man Marvin Columbus, he went ahead and he shipped out some of the Box Runner shoes to me and my man Angel Santos. But everybody rocking them though. You know, like I said, Ronda Rousey copped some, Vanas Monterosian, John Molina. I mean, a whole bunch of these are just names I'm thinking of right off the fly. But a whole bunch of people, you know, cop those Box Runner shoes. Yes, sir. Let me see. I'm just looking at the comments. So let me see. I'm reading the comments right now. Yeah, man. So anyway, like I said, once again, I just hopped on here to do this interview with Abel Sanchez. I'm about to go ahead and wrap it up. Let me see. Or make sure you guys tune in to the live radio show. This is just a live stream. We do the actual live radio show on Sundays, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. We have a complete boxing panel. We have special guests. It goes down like a plane crash on DBN radio all day. Yeah, man. So, like I said, man, it's really unfortunate. You know, I don't believe that we're going to get to see Golovkin versus Jermell Charlo, his mandatory. I don't even believe that we'll see Golovkin against Danny Jacobs. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I mean, Abel did finish the interview by saying that you know, we want to give the fans what they want. So hopefully, you know, fans do get what they want to see. It's funny because the other day when I interviewed, who was it? I'm trying to remember where this comment was. I seen this comment. Oh, actually, no. It was the video that I uploaded with Jermell Charlo calling out Golovkin. And I remember right when it uploaded, one of the first comments was, why doesn't he just go fight? Why doesn't he just go fight Danny Jacobs? It's so funny, man, how these decafs, they want to create so many distractions. They want to deflect. You got a man that's Golovkin's mandatory, and you saying, well, why doesn't he leave Golovkin alone and go fight that Danny Jacobs? Because the way decafs look at it, it's the lesser of two evils, right? They feel if Danny Jacobs or Charlo, if they fight against each other, they don't care who loses because they're both on a coincidental list. But it's a threat when it's Charlo versus Golovkin, and they know that that can play out the wrong way. And that's what it really comes down to. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. So I'm reading the comments. I see y'all going in. Somebody said Lara would die in the ring against Gigi. And I wanted to address that comment because this once again goes to my point. It's funny how fans, they talk for the fighter when the fighter, his feelings towards that fighter doesn't even reflect what you hear these fans say. Because once again, if Golovkin felt that Lara was this easy guy, he would have picked Lara instead of Willie Monroe. Remember, guys, Willie Monroe is a southpaw, just like Lara. Willie Monroe, he moves around the ring, just like Lara. You know? So, if Golovkin truly felt that was a guy that would die in the ring and he could beat him and et cetera, Golovkin would have raced to fight. He would have ran to fight Lara, right? He would have been in a hurry to fight Lara, just like he had no problems fighting Willie Monroe, Dominic Wade, David Lemieux, et cetera. So, yeah, man, I think that's about it, man. I think that's about it. We had a great interview. Thank you. Thank you to my special guest, Abel Sanchez. Regardless if we disagree, I always have respect for him because he always gives me the exclusives. And, just like he said, I give him an opportunity for him to speak his piece, no matter, if I agree or disagree, or we agree or disagree, right? So it's always going to be like that. None of this shit is personal. It's just boxing talk, baby. That's all it is. And hopefully we get to see some of these great fights. But everybody can't be Errol Spence. And when I say that, I mean everybody can't go out there looking for the most dangerous fighters available. Everybody can't be Deontay Wilder out there looking for the most dangerous fighters to get in the ring with. Everybody can't beat him. You feel me? And that's just what it is. Everybody can't be Andre Ward, moving up to a weight he didn't have to move up to, just to help out HBO so that they can protect who they really wanted to be, the next Floyd Mayweather, with the right complexion for the protection, which that didn't play out too damn well. So that's what it is, man. Hashtag new media. Hashtag decaf busters. Hashtag Dante's Boxing Nation. DBN, baby. Dante's Cooking Nation. Dante's Muscle Nation. Follow me on my, I never, really promote it, but the hell with it. Follow me on Dante's Boxing Nation on Instagram. You can even follow me on Dante's Muscle Nation on Instagram as well. Let's get it in, y'all. Let's have a great 2018. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Shout out to everybody that showed love in the comment section. I appreciate y'all. I only got one more thing to say. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the nation, baby. Yep.